All right. Hello and welcome to Ask Ron, where Ron answers your real estate questions each and every week. And I'm Adam. I've got Ron here, of course. How you doing today, Ron?
Well, I'm pretty good, man. Sitting in my office working all day, looking out at this beautiful weather we have.
Yes, sir. And always remember, if you'd like to have your question answered on future episodes, you can post it directly inside the Closers Club community or give us an email at ask@ronlegrand.com. All right. First question is from Brian Lucy in Colorado. So I wanted to follow up on a potential lead that I have from a lender. I got a lead a few hours ago about a person that is going into foreclosure. As I understand, has not gone through yet, but I like to be able to figure out a good way of being able to navigate the process of being able to get the deal and see if Ron would help me do that. If in the event they needed to bring the loan current and it's a pretty house.
Well, they're not going to stop the foreclosure until it is brought current. So you got to get the PI sheet filled out by the seller, and you need to know how far they are behind, and then what will the principal balance be when those payments are caught up, and then what kind of equity you're going to have in it when they are caught up. And it's an easy one to get subject to if you want it. Seller's not asking for any money, I assume. So you just got to do the math and make sure you even want it. And if you do, you just get a contract on it. The key is when is the date of the hearing? There's always got to be a hearing. How close to that are they? Because once it gets to there, state by state, like here in Florida, 30 days later, the sheriff's going to go put them out if they're not out of the house. But they used to have a 10-day grace period, and they really don't now. And yet they say they don't, but the courthouse still gives them a 10-day period. So anyway, I don't know. Does that answer his question or not? Because I
It
didn't.
does answer part of it. I guess the main question he was wondering was if he needed help with the deal, would you be able to help if it was a pretty house and he kind of wants your
Brian,
assistance?
thought I better than ask me that question when you give me one inkling of the figures concerning the house. One inkling.
Yes,
Go
sir.
back and get your math done and then get back in touch with me. You don't have to wait till next week. Get your question on askron.com. Now, before you do that, I want you to do this. Think, if I were on the other end of this, could I have a clue what this man is trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And I'll say that to all of you.
Yeah.
Please, uh, you got to make sure that I can understand your question. And if I don't, I have no recourse except tell you to go back and do it again.
Yep. All right. This is Phil from Texas. He has two separate questions. The first one, a seller reached out to me about a week ago. He's anxious to get his property sold. It has been listed for a lengthy amount of time and has only 2 months of reserves to cover both of his mortgages. The property has very little equity, and the strategy is to purchase it on a wrap. We met last night and we signed the purchase and sell and disclosed that we cannot do anything with it until he gets the listing terminated, which he said he has no problem as a realtor is his friend. When can I begin to market this property to potential buyers? When can I submit the paperwork to the attorney to begin to
Okay.
prepare the closing docs and everything else?
All right. Well, I answered that for him yesterday, but we'll do it for the group because it's a good question. All right. Answer is you're going to want to see the email from the realtor releasing the listing, and you're going to want it in your file. All right. In case somebody disputes it. So you do the right thing there. Now, you can set up a closing. I always do it for 30 days. I don't care how far they are behind, unless they're right on top of the sale. But you don't want to take 30 days. But I'm more concerned about the numbers on the thing. I hate to give you advice not knowing anything about the numbers, whether it even makes sense to buy it. You said it had very little equity in it. I assume it's in excellent condition. Or if it isn't, you don't want to touch it. But if it is, I have no problem with it, but I'd still like to know how much it takes to bring the thing current, then what's it worth, and what's the balance if it's brought current. Those are three key things you got to know when you're dealing with pre-foreclosures. And also, what kind of neighborhood is it in? Is it a house you'd like? Is it a great neighborhood? Is it in war zone or where is it at? And what's around it? Adel and I make these quick decisions quick. And pull them up online, and we pretty much know our areas, and we know if it's in a war zone instantly. And um, I mean, I still could buy it, but I got to buy it really cheap. And then, at least here in Jacksonville, MLS is not a place to go buy houses in because they're all asking too much for them because of all of the flow of investors that have come from somewhere. I don't know. That's all they know is wholesaling. So I don't even we try to get some of those. Don't get me wrong. We send the postcards out and we do the other things that I teach, but I'm much more excited about the pretty houses than I am the ugly ones anyway.
Yeah. All right. Second question from Phil regarding Airbnbs or short-term rentals. He wants to know your opinion on these, if they close them on sub two and then renting them out short-term or making them Airbnb models.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. Long as the math makes sense. You better make sure you can even do an Airbnb on it before you buy it. Got to call the city on that one. See if you got any law against it. Or you can start by asking Google. If Google says they have a law against it, then you better further check it out, and that may determine whether you want to buy it or not. So Airbnbs have kind of fallen off the wayside. I don't know why, but I don't hear much about them anymore. I think it's probably because some of the cities are changing the rules on them. I don't know. But if you're going to take it subject to, you got no way to lose.
Yep.
You want to make an Airbnb, go for it.
Got it. All right. Next one, Tony and Angie. Ron, over the course of your career, you've mastered multiple ways of creating wealth through real estate, notes, private lending, etc. Looking back, what framework do you now use to decide where each new dollar of capital should go?
Yeah, I answered that for them yesterday as well. Okay, what framework would I use?
I guess in other words, how do you think about capital allocation today, and how has that thinking evolved over the last 40 years?
Okay, well, um, when we find a deal, or if you find a junker, we don't even need capital because we flip it and just sell the contract. So you don't need any money to wholesale houses. I'm serious. If you think you need any money to wholesale houses, you need to come back and let me train you because you just don't. All right, with FISBOs. Right now, um, I am in the stock market now, where I haven't been pretty much the rest of my life. I put my IRAs at Fidelity so I could buy stocks through Fidelity because the Fidelity wouldn't let me until they held the IRA. So I actually have IRA in two places. So I'm working in the stock market right now, getting better at it every day, making money, believe it or not. Not as fast as I'd like to, but I'm making money way to hell more than you can ever get invested in the bank or something like that. So other than that, I don't really have that much use for capital right now, unless because I'm not going to pay cash and come out of pocket and buy it and renovate it, and you're going to take you about 6 months, and I just don't want to guess what's going to happen in 6 months. I got some people in the stock world that are predicting another downturn. All right. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to reduce my risk nowadays. The older I get, the less risk I want to take on anything. But that still don't mean that I'm not going to do something that makes mathematical sense. First thing you need to look at is what the math on this thing. And is that math going to give me enough money to make it worth me messing with it? Or is it going to suck up my time and waste my time and I'm not going to get any money out of it? It's like that one we just talked about. If that thing has very little equity in it, and he brings two payments current. I don't know what that is, 2,000 maybe, 2,500 maybe. He's probably eating up the equity. So now you'd have to ask himself, why do I want it? And the good news is you probably get $10,000, $15,000 out of it when you put a tenant buyer in there, even if you have to raise that price above what the ARV says is worth, because you're lease optioning it to a tenant buyer. And then you got all those other benefits that we've discussed along the way. So he's got me thinking, what do I do with cash? I can't think about it. I don't chase women. That ain't it. I don't smoke marijuana. Um, so actually, I just well, I'll always like to keep it in something that's producing a revenue, but I've been pretty lax on that up until now. So as soon as I get this stock thing down, Pat, I'll probably throw some more money at it.
Sure.
Meantime, it's just sitting there.
All right. Got last question here from Peter in New York. He's attending Quick Start in August. He's looking forward to seeing everyone. Before I get to Jacksonville, I would like to know if there's anything that I can do to prepare myself before arrival.
Yes, you can start generating leads. August is about the what, third week in August is that thing?
Yes, sir. I think it's the 20,
Okay,
got it
so
right here,
bump away.
22nd, no, 25th to 28th.
So you got to ask yourself, what am I going to do to get leads? And bring a stack of them to class, and that'll call every single one of them for you and try to make a deal out of them. So I'd like to have this chat with you. So, in fact, I think I'm on. It's too late now. I can't do a call, but my team might have sent you something on how to generate leads before you come to class. I wished I could ask you whether you have that or not, but I can't since we're recording this.
Yeah, he was on the Closures Club call on Monday night, and I kind of discussed some different options with them as well. So.
Do it again, especially with the people that are coming to the boot camp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the main thing I told him was to get acclimated with dreams and potentially get some mailings out since he's got a month and a half. It's plenty of time for him to get some mail out, and obviously start with Zillow and Facebook Marketplace. That's the low hanging fruit there. They're free. They got the number on them, and it'll get you some time to practice your script and get your script in order and practice on the phone. And anything that you got between now and then, I told him reach out to me directly. I don't want you waiting until you really feel like you got something hot. Don't wait till August 25th to call him back. Make sure you get that over to me. No, yeah,
Also, ride around looking for FISBO signs.
hmm
At least you know that house is for sale.
yeah,
And just get the number off of it. And then I want you to call the seller yourself
yeah,
and fill in the PI sheet, and that'll help you get over the fear of calling them. They're just people, you know. Okay.
yeah,
Can't hurt you through the telephone. And use my script. You must use my script. And if you don't have that script, well, if you're coming to this quick start, I know you got should have my courses. Where's that script at? Darn it. It's ronlegrand.com forward.
um,
It's not forward slash contracts. It's forward slash script. I try it.
yeah. Let
Or
me
you
see.
can go on our website. It's Closer Club website and just put it up in the search box,
Hmm.
and it'll bring it up. There's only two of them I care about, and that's the um, what we call the what's the name of the master script that we use?
A closing call script.
Closing call script.
Yeah, and then goes into the $1 million script.
Yeah. Well, no, the $1 million script only comes after they get a positive answer to the
Hmm.
call script.
Yes, sir.
So closing call scripts to $1 million script to two appointment script.
Yep. And he is part of the Closures Club, so he has access to all that on
Yeah.
the in the community tab there. So, and that's our final question. We are a little light this week.
Well, that's okay. I would really like for you guys to get out there and get some deals going, and you could share them on the calls with Adel because you are serving others, not just you. You need to be inspiring other people. That will get you inspired if you just get into that attitude. I remember when I first joined my local RIA club here in 1982. I went in there. I didn't know how to spell real estate. Just came out of that 2-day seminar. And it didn't take me long to learn that sharing with the class was more fun for me than it was for them. So you got to get out there and get something happening, and then you got the right to share it with others that want to hear it, and most don't, of course. So I want to see you get moving. I can't tell you how many people have come to my boot camp, learn real estate, perfect real estate, and go on to be trainers on their own. Most of the trainers out there are my students. Now they're their students, or they're their students, and I don't know how many layers deep, but being at this 45 years now can help them taught a bunch of people that are going to teach a bunch of people and so forth. So you never know what this boot camp's going to do for you. It's going to teach you how to do real estate, but you never know where it's going to lead you. Sometimes to places you didn't expect to go. Like I'm thinking of Mark Mostek right now. He came to this boot camp and he came to my commercial boot camp. Years later, he did a storage unit deal. He became a multi-millionaire overnight in cash on one deal. Okay,
Yeah.
one deal. Took him 2 years to get through it and get it built and all that. But he found a partner, put up the money, and put up the down payment and get the loan to get it completed. He never had any money in the deal. Uh, he had no idea he was going to do that when he came to my real estate boot camp, residential and commercial. I mean, you just don't know what's going to come up. Um, and by the way, Brian, Lucy, yeah, I'll work that if the numbers make any sense.
Yep, he was on the call Monday night too, and I told him the exact same thing. So get us the facts, and I'm sure if it's a deal, Ron would definitely look at it at least.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Same time, same channel.
All right.
Year's running out. You better get busy.